Imagine this: a future prophet, chosen by God, is not in a palace, not in a city, not surrounded by people, but somewhere out in the mountains, alone, following the sound of a single lost sheep. No one knows his name yet, no one knows his mission. But in this silence, Allah is preparing him for something the world isn't ready for. Almost every prophet God ever sent began their journey the same way. They were shepherds. Not merchants, not warriors, not teachers, shepherds. This was not an accident. This was a divine curriculum, a program designed by God Himself. But why? What was hidden in this quiet, rugged, lonely life that prepared them to change the world? A shepherd's life has no applause. You wake before the world wakes. You walk alone before anyone knows you exist. There is no audience watching you work. No one praises your patience. No one values your sacrifice. And perhaps that is exactly why God chose this path. Even Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam herded sheep in Mecca. He later said, "There is no prophet who was not a shepherd." When the companions asked him, he smiled and said, "Even I." This simple work softened his heart and removed every trace of pride, because the one who will guide humanity must first be purified of self-importance. Sheep don't follow commands. They run when they're scared. They wander at the wrong moment. They panic from a single sound. To guide them, you need something far greater than force. You need patience, emotional stability, a calm heart. If you lose control of yourself, you lose the entire flock. Prophet Musa alayhi salam spent 10 years as a shepherd in Madian before Allah spoke to him. 10 long years of silence, mountains, and flocks. He needed control over his anger, calmness under pressure, gentleness with the weak, and strength with the stubborn. All of that was trained in the desert. There is a moment every shepherd remembers, when the weakest sheep falls behind. A wolf never attacks the strongest. A storm never tests the ones in the middle. Danger always finds the vulnerable. And a shepherd must know, always, who is missing, who is afraid, who is too slow, who is silently breaking. Before becoming a king, Prophet Dawud was a shepherd, carrying lambs, protecting the smallest, sleeping with the flock to keep them warm. That tenderness later became his leadership style, firm in justice, soft in mercy. As Prophet Muhammad said, "A leader is a shepherd, and every shepherd is responsible for his flock." Shepherding is not easy. Freezing nights, scorching days, dangerous cliffs, wild animals, endless walking, no comfort, no luxury, no rest. This built endurance, a level of physical and emotional strength that prophets would later need. Prophet Ibrahim spent years wandering the desert with his flocks. Those years prepared him for the fire of Nimrod, leaving Hajar and Ismail in the desert, the trial of sacrifice. The strength to face these trials did not appear suddenly. It was built step by step in the quiet hardship of the fields. A shepherd depends on God constantly. Weather can change in minutes. Predators can appear from nowhere. Water can run out. In this uncertainty, a shepherd's heart learns tawakkul, real dependence on God. But there is more. Hours spent alone in the fields, walking under the sky, listening to the wind, watching the sun rise and set, give time to think. Time to ask the questions that matter. Who created all of this? Why am I here? What is my purpose? Living a shepherd's life shaped Prophet Yaqub's trust in Allah, even when he lost Yusuf. In uncertainty, his heart leaned on Allah alone. Shepherding teaches both trust and reflection, the strength to endure hardship, and the clarity to understand the divine plan. Sheep do not respond to shouting, anger, fear, or force. They respond to gentleness, consistency, presence, and trust. This is why prophets led with mercy, not power. Prophet Muhammad said, "Allah is gentle, and He loves gentleness in all things." So what does this mean for us? The Prophet ﷺ said, "Every one of you is a shepherd." You are responsible for someone. Parents, teachers, business owners, content creators, leaders, older siblings, friends. Being a shepherd means protecting the weak, guiding with patience, leading with mercy, correcting with wisdom, being responsible for the souls entrusted to you. Before they became leaders of people, they cared for the weakest creatures. Before they carried revelation, they carried responsibility. And before the world knew their names, Allah was preparing them in silence. Maybe the lessons of shepherding were never about sheep at all, but about hearts. You are watching Echoes of Islam.